Here we are, 1 minute from the start. Race 3. Pin favored with the current moving windward, pushing boats over the line. Current right now is going out. It's all kind of a left to right upwind current. Left-hand side of the course is favored. Pin is favored. The mark is not directly upwind. It's quite a bit to the right-hand side of the course. A lot less than race 2 if you just watch that. Marty adjusted it, but the wind is still going left, and with the current pushing it the way it is, makes a very short tack. About 20 seconds away, and you can see underneath there, Christian and Chris Brody spun around. That's Sarah Nightingale on the far left at the pin. She's running out of runway. It's not enough time, too much time, and the gun is still, and there's the gun, and she's going to hit the pin. She's going to have to round around. It looks like one other boat was over early as well. Christiane has a great start. Yep, JPG and Felicity Ryan are rerounding there on the bottom with Sarah Nightingale. Sarah's a local competitor in Sag Harbor. She races every Sunday. She had her first 2 good races where the wind was high. That pin start, being early, hitting the pin, isn't going to help her series any. Her niece is out there racing with her brother. She got a good start. She's up in the lead there. You can see the mark on the top of the course, left of the center of this frame. If you look closely, you can also see the boats being pushed upwind, and I'm looking at the water, and it looks like the current is definitely stronger on the left-hand side of this course. Favorable current going upwind. So looking at this, the boats on the left-hand side of the course should have a big advantage to all the boats that tacked early and went over to the right. That is Christiana on the far left, the furthest left boat. I guess it's there in first, or top 3 for sure, coming up over there unless the wind goes back right. Joan Butler and Hannah Nightingale look like they're doing well, cutting across the fleet right there. Joan is sailing with her son, Seth Barrows. Joan and Seth sail every Sunday, or most Sundays. Seth is one of the favorites to win the North Americans here with JPG this coming weekend. And on the left, you can see those dark spots. Those are actually schools of fish. It's a great thing about the aerial drone. You get to see things that you wouldn't otherwise. There's a puff coming on that down that the boats in the center leading right there are going to get to first. They're punching out pretty well. There's Sarah on the left-hand side, second from the left, trying to fight back into the fleet after having to reround. Wind is lightening up as it goes. The day started at 13, 14 knots and continued to die. Now it's below 9 knots for sure. It's probably closer to 7 right now. It's where the lighter crews will start to have an advantage, and that advantage will grow. There's Felicity Ryan on the bottom right of our screen. She was over early but got to the left-hand side further than Sarah did to fight her way back. after being over early. That's not easy. Hey, for those fishermen on the bottom right, you see a school of fish there jumping. So it looks like Christiana and Chris Brody are going to be first to the windward mark again. They were just to windward of Sarah, not over early. Great start. Sarah had a re-round, clearing the way for them. And there's Joan Butler and Seth Barrows coming around in second. They'll be sailing together with Seth driving at the North Americans this coming weekend. Felicity Ryan did a great job. Great comeback. And there's Sarah. Good comeback herself. Wow. She got all the way back to fourth place. That left-hand side of the course is really paying. And right in front of her is her daughter. No, sorry, her niece and her brother. Now here comes the leaders from the right-hand side of the course that had good starts but got stuck over there. Jackie Buddha and Eric Butte. Eric Butte's one of our local sailors. Keeps getting better every year. And 1738 is Christine O'Connor and John Brewer. And there's Lee Monte sailing with Ruth Hakisan. Lee is a great laser sailor. It's a little bit of a foul here, forcing Nina to go to the wrong side of the mark. That's Heather Sullivan sailing with Leah Oldak. Still learning, getting better and better in 2150, but she did foul Nina there. But Nina re-rounded. She's such a sweetheart. Just not a big deal, not a lot of yelling. She's sailing with I2, is a fantastic crew. I have to sail with them a bunch. It's a great opportunity the Wood is for people that don't always get to drive to get a better experience. It's more than just a crew race. Some of these ladies sail regularly as skippers, but a lot of the drivers today are typically crew. So it gives an opportunity for skippers to pay back all the hard work of their crews. Now you can see how much slower downwind it is with the current in their face. At this point, they're probably wishing that pin end of the start is the leeward mark. It's interesting, back in the before asymmetrical kites and the fast planing downwind boats, it was often a windward leeward using the pin end as the leeward mark. But as boats gained in downwind speed and people wanted longer downwind legs, especially in the melges, you ended up with more triangle courses, starting and finishing in the middle, giving shorter windward legs and longer reach legs. It makes sense for those boats, but personally I think it's better for the JYs and lasers to have their leeward mark being the starting mark to get a more symmetrical, more balanced windward leg. Windward legs end up being so short, it's hard to separate, and then these long, slow downwind runs or reaches can get kind of painful, especially when the wind dies like this. See on the bottom right, that's Sarah Nightingale and Bud Rogers. Bud is our local captain, fleet captain. He runs lasers out of the back of his house and then coordinates JYs every Sunday, which is fantastic. There's close to a half a dozen JYs, lending a whole bunch of them out, making sure everyone has a boat to sail. That's how I got into this fleet. He lent me a boat. I loved it so much I just went out and got myself my own so I wouldn't have to borrow. So there's Sarah on port and JPG and Felicity on starboard. She needs to keep clear there. And they're quickly overtaking Seth and Joan. You can see that they have a puff and Seth doesn't. On the lower left side. Nightingales. Got the inside overlap on starboard and leeward. Only if this was the leeward mark, though. There's a long way to go. Felicity Ryan and JPG are taking the straight road, a little bit lower. And Christiana and Chris Brody are starting to extend over there. They got a nice puff. Sailing in phase with that breeze. They jibed on it. Yeah, you can actually see the difference in the current down there. That current shear all the way. And moving in two different directions. Now at this point the battery's almost dead. We started with a general recall, so it burned up the first 5 minutes. And these 5 boats will have quite a long run all the way down to that mark. If I recall, this is twice around. And we'll come back. We have coverage on one more race and a couple more starts we could take a look at. Hope you guys enjoyed. Please start posting comments, spread the word, get some interest level on this. You can see the rest of the fleet closing down the gap there. It's quite a beautiful image, actually. Well, I'm going to cut out and get ready for the next one.